So today we're going to be reading this book. It's called The Best Nest, and it's written by P.D. Eastman. This is the front of the book, the front of the book, the front of the book. This is the front of the book, and this is the back. This is the back of the book, the back of the book, the back of the book. This is the back of the book, and this is the spine. Now, from looking at this cover and hearing the name, what do you think this story is going to be about? I think it's going to be about a bird. And if you look at Mama Bird, or Mrs. Bird, she does not look very happy. She looks like a grumpy Mama Bird. And Mr. Bird looks so happy. He's singing a song. So let's find out why Mrs. Bird is so angry while Mr. Bird is so happy. Mr. Bird was happy. He was so happy he had to sing. This was Mr. Bird's song. I love my house, I love my nest in all the world. My nest's the best. Then Mrs. Bird came out of the house. It's not the best nest, she said. I'm tired of this old place, said Mrs. Bird. I hate it. Let's look for a new place right now. So they left the old place to look for a new place. This place looks nice, Mr. Bird said. Let's move in here. Yeah, in the tree. But someone else had already moved in. So they looked at another house. This one looks nice, said Mr. Bird, and there's no one in it. What do you think's gonna happen? Who wears boots? People. You're wrong, said Mrs. Bird. This house belongs to a foot. So they went looking. I like this one, Mr. Bird, said Mr. Bird. It was pretty with a red flag on the roof. I've always wanted a house with a flag, said Mrs. Bird. Maybe this will be just right. Yeah, it's a mailbox. Is a mailbox a good place to build a house? I don't think so. But it was not all right. I guess I made a mistake, said Mr. Bird. You make too many mistakes, said Mrs. Bird. I'm going to pick the next house. And here it is, right here. What is that? It's a church. They flew in and looked around. Isn't it too big, said Mr. Bird. I like this place, said Mrs. Bird. This is the place to build our new nest. Right on top of that bell? They went to work. They needed many things to build their nest. First, they got some hay. They got some soda straws, some broom straws, and even some sweater string. They got some stocking string and some mattress stuffing. They got some horse hair. They got some man hair. Soon they had all the hay, all the straw, and all the string, and all the stuffing, and all the horse hair, and all the man hair they could carry. And they took it back to build their nest. Mr. and Mrs. Bird worked very hard. It took them the rest of the morning to finish their nest. This nest really is the best, said Mrs. Bird. I want to stay here forever. Mr. Bird was so happy too. He flew to the top of the nest He sang his song, I love my house, I love our nest, in all the world our nest's the best. He was so busy singing he didn't even see Mr. Parker coming. Every day at 12 o'clock, Mr. Parker came to the church, and Mr. Parker pulled the rope. The rope went up to the bird's new nest. The rope rang the big bell right under Mrs. Bird's nest. Bong, bong, bong. Oh, look at that. Do you ever hear church bells? You could hear them at your house. I'm not sure if your house is near church bells. I don't hear them at my house. I used to hear them in my old house, though. I used to hear church bells all the time. Mrs. Bird got out of there as fast as she could fly. Oh, that really scared her, rattled her. Boing, boing, dong, dong, dong. Really loud church bell. When Mrs. Bird came in, when Mr. Bird came in, all he could do was see a mess of hay, string and stuffing and horse hay and manure. Where was Mrs. Bird? How do you think he felt? He was scared. Worried? He didn't know what happened to his Mrs. Bird. And that probably made him extremely worried. I will look for her until I find her, said Mr. Bird. He looked high, he looked low, he looked everywhere for Mrs. Bird. He looked down a chimney. Mrs. Bird wasn't there. He looked down a water barrel, but Mrs. Bird wasn't there. Then he saw a big, fat cat. There was a big, fat smile on the cat's fat face, on the fat cat's face. There was some pretty brown feathers near the fat cat's mouth. Mr. Bird began to cry. Oh dear, he said, this big fat cat and Mrs. Bird. Mr. Bird flew off. I'll never see Mrs. Bird again, he cried. It was getting dark, and it began to rain. It rained harder and harder, and Mr. Bird couldn't see where he was going. You see how sad he looks? Look at him. Mr. Bird's crying. He's so sad. Crash! Mr. Bird bumped into something. It was his old house. That old house that Mrs. Bird hated. I'll go inside, said Mr. Bird. I'll rest until the rain stops. Mr. Bird went in, and there was Mrs. Bird, sitting there singing, I love my house, I love my nest, and all my world. My nest's the best. You here? Mr. Bird gasped. I thought you hated this old nest. Mrs. Bird smiled. I used to hate it, she said, but a mother bird can change her mind. You see, there's no nest like an old nest for a brand new bird. They're gonna have a baby bird. And when the egg popped open, the new bird thought so too. The end. So how did you like the story? What was your favorite house that Mr. Bird and Mrs. Bird built together? Did you like their old house the best too? I did. Why didn't she like that nest? What was her reason? Yeah, she didn't really have a reason. It was just old. And she wanted something new. Why didn't the place they built their nest make a very good nest spot? the bell. That bell was not a very good place for a nest. Have you ever seen a bird nest? Where I live, I have lots of birds. I actually have a nest I have a picture I'm going to show you so I don't bother mama bird. But I have a nest right outside my garage that there's a bird sitting on the egg. And I have an old nest that I found that has the cracked egg in it, but no bird's been in it a while, so I ended up taking it down so you could look at it. If you find a bird nest, don't take it down though, because you don't know if it has a bird in it. So let me show you my bird nest I found. Check it out. I know. Do you see the egg? Yeah, there's a cracked egg inside. And do you see what she used to make this nest? Let's look. Okay, I see lots and lots of hay. I see some different kinds of flowers. And also, I see kitty fur. I have cats. She got some kitty fur somehow. Isn't that a really neat nest? And let me show you a picture of the other nest. And you see this one? You can see the birdie in it. Isn't that a neat nest? Here's a picture of the other nest with the broken egg in it. I hope you enjoyed the story and I know you enjoyed seeing the nests. Have a good day. Bye.